Good day, my name is Sheena Mabena. I'm 33 years of age. I reside in Imalahle in Mpumalanga, and I'm with 33andMe Talent Agency.
Awesome, Sheena. Tell me a little bit more about who's Sheena and how did Sheena come about wanting to be an actress?
Well, a funny story. When I was a young child, I would say around 3 by my parents' memory, my dad would prepare for work and I would have a spoon in hand and I would kind of serenade him. So I'd serenade him and my mom in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'd be singing my Whitney Houston. I've always loved her. I'd be singing there and my father would be like, could you just stop? And I didn't. And I think that's when the talent, that's when I had the inkling that I wanted to go into the arts, even though I don't remember that part. But even though when I went into primary and high school, I always took part in school concerts and in the debate team and in reciting poetry. So I was always a quiet child in class, just kept to myself, didn't really want the attention. But when I was on stage, I was alive. Yes, I felt alive on stage. I just loved performing. I just loved taking on a character. So when matric came, I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to go into the arts. And they were like, excuse me, what? But I could understand because both of my parents come from difficult backgrounds and they didn't see it as a sustainable career. And they didn't think that I'd be able to take care of myself and they didn't want me to go through the same hardships that they did. So I took another route, something that I was also passionate about, helping people. So I went into psychology and specifically clinical psychology. And I think that acting and psychology is very similar because you have to put yourself in a character's shoes. And when you see a patient, you have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to be empathetic, and not sympathetic. So I found it interesting hearing people and what they were going through and how they would kind of put on masks for people out there but kind of reveal themselves in here. And as an actress, you want to be relatable to people. So when you play a part, that's why so many people can resonate with you. So when I completed my master's and my internship, I took it upon myself in 2017 to pursue acting. I told myself that I wanted to get into the arts and now I can finally do it on my own, why not? So I remember I was going through my laptop and I came across an ad, 33andMe auditions. It was in January. It was going to happen, no, it was late December 2018, and in January you're having the auditions, January 2019. And I was like, I'm going there. This is the first step, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna try out. So I prepared a monologue and I went through YouTube and I saw videos and I said, you know what, I'm ready, I'm gonna go to the auditions. I went to the auditions in front of you, Elsa B, the rest of the panel, and I bombed. Hard. After that, I was surprised and my heart was painful, but it was a wake-up call because people tend to think when you come into the arts, there's no preparation, something that you kind of wake up and want to do one day. And I got the hard reality that that's not the case, and it showed in my performance. So for the rest of 2017 and 2018, I attended workshops, I attended courses, I attended classes. So to really know the gist of what is going on, because it's all good and well that the International Arts Talent Showcase is looking for potential, but you also need to develop your potential. You also need to strive as an artist to say, I'm doing the work behind the scenes. You can't just show up there and expect to be noticed because that's not fair to myself and the people who are actually giving me the chance.
Like a lot of dancers auditioning for us at the showcase auditions, they come and then they just do normal club dancing or whatever they do at home and there's no choreography to it. It's like, why do you even do that to yourself?
Exactly.
The most important thing that you have learned throughout the process of being with ITS, done the showcase, done 33andMe, all the classes, what were the highlights? What was what were some of the things that you've learned that stood out to you as an artist that you've implemented literally on a daily basis to perfect yourself and to enhance yourself to be a better actor and an artist?
What I've learned as an artist is that you, the artist, are the tool. You are the single tool that you utilize when you step up on stage. And that means, as the tool, you need to be mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually okay. And that's something that I took for granted at the beginning. But if you're not okay, it shows on stage. It shows through your performance. It shows through you trying to develop a character. Because how can you develop a character if you don't even know what's going on with yourself? So a lot of things I was in denial with, I had to face now.
Okay. At Showcase at Silver Star Casino, when the doors opened for registration, what went through your mind? What went through your soul? What went through your body? Explain that to us.
Oh, there's so many people here. That was the first thought that came to mind. I was like, my goodness, how on earth am I going to stand out with so many people here? People who are equally, if not more talented than I am. So I didn't fool myself when I got in there. I was like, they're all here for a reason, they're chosen for a reason, so I need to up my game when I get on that stage. And what was important for me is that, a lot of people were rehearsing, a lot of people had advice, do it like this, do it like that, stand like this, stand like that. And at the end of the day, you had to decide who are you going to listen to, or are you going to close out the noise and you're going to concentrate on yourself, because you can get lost in it. At the beginning, I was like, who am I going to listen to? But as an artist, you need to know that you're prepared, and that day is for you to showcase your talent and not for you to start practicing again.
The moment they put the medal around your neck and you had to pose for a photo, what from the whole process, from registration throughout the whole process, and you put that medal on, what feeling did that express?
That I did it.
Forward.
That I actually did it. I did it by myself, for myself. Because most of my life I've been doing things for other people, and trying to be the model child, to be the model sister, to be the upstanding citizen, not wanting to disappoint anybody. So a lot of people were surprised by the path I took, and they were asking questions about why I took it. But what mattered is that it was important to me, and I did it.
I think the biggest mistake people make in life is to live a life everybody else expects of them and not what they should be living. And then one day you wake up and you no longer exist, and then you've lost yourself through transition to make everybody else happy.
Yeah.
At Showcase, out of all the talent scouts that were there from America, who was the most memorable talent scout, and what did they say to you?
I'd have to say that it's kind of biased, because the day before I had actually attended Raven Drummer's workshop, and what stood out for her is that at Showcase you're going to find a lot of people, when they are watching other people, they want to mimic them, they want to be huge, they want to be more expressive. But being more expressive doesn't mean that you're really into character, or you're expressing your character genuinely, and that you can still be modest and quiet and still perform. And those are the words that resonated in me when I was at Showcase and I was watching everybody. And some monologues needed to be eccentric, people needed to be big, but we didn't all need to be like that. And that's what I took into thought. So that's what resonated with me that day.
Seeing that she resonated with you so much, do you watch her Minute Mondays that she
Yes,
on
I
Monday
do.
morning on
I
Instagram?
do.
Perfect. So I'm sure you're going to take a lot of that going over to IMTA.
I am, because I'm learning a lot. Things that I thought I knew need
That
touch
you
up
now
and
know.
brushing up. Exactly. You never fully learned.
What obstacles did you have to overcome as a person, as Sheena, in the industry or in life, in order for you to actually, I think you kind of answered it, but what was the biggest life lesson or obstacle that you had to overcome in order for you to be sitting on this couch today? And to actually live, and to know that you're on your way to America soon, with a plane full of South Africans, and you're going to be on an international stage. Did you ever think that could ever be possible with the obstacles that you faced back then?
No, I didn't. Because at the beginning, I remember when I got the call back that I was going to IMTA and the excitement. And then reality hit. Okay, now, financially, how's that gonna go? And support. So to me, support was very important. And I felt as though I needed people around me to make this possible. And I learned quite quickly that this is a long and this might be a lonely road where people don't quite understand what you're doing and why you're spending so much money to do this. So I had to quickly understand that, why am I doing this? What is my why? And I had to stop my why from being external to internal. So from being external and hoping that people be around me and showing me that support and love, to internal to, I love performing, I love being on stage, I love taking on a character. So.
What is the one thing that makes you stand out as an artist, that you believe gives you that quality to be the best version of yourself as an artist?
What I've always thrived for, even when I watch movies, it's how authentic the actors are and how difficult that is. You sit there, you record yourself and you play it back and you're like, no, this looks scripted or this looks rehearsed. Even though their work is scripted and rehearsed, but it's so authentic because they really take on that character. So that's what I strive for, to really take on a character, not to just rehearse and have the lines in my mind, but to be the character. So that's what I strive for, that authenticity. So if I can get that authenticity,
you're sorted.
You're sorted. I'm sorted.
What about the industry made you fall in love with it, to pursue it where you are now?
Since I was a little girl, I've always been an observer of people. So even playground, I'd sit and observe my friends. I don't know why, but I just do it. And I'd wonder to myself, why do they act the way they act? Why do they think the way they think? What is motivating them to behave this way?
What makes them tick?
Exactly, what makes them tick. And that's always made me very curious. And that's when I actually started to sit down and to talk to them and to have an empathetic ear. It's one thing to listen to somebody, but some people listen to respond.
Yeah.
Then there's listening to hear somebody. And that's what I've always wanted to be. When I listen to a person, I want to hear them, because that's what I've lacked. That's what's been lacking in my life. People will listen to me, but you can already see that the person just wants to respond. They're not hearing you.
What is your favorite quote that has pulled you through this time of difficulty? Not only pursuing this now only the last 3-4 years of your life, but what is the one slogan or motivational quote that you have drawn energy and things from, that pulled you through this whole time, to make you believe in yourself, to make you go for this and not worry about the external, but what is internal?
When I was young, I would say to you, I'd have this long and dramatic and deep quote about life and circumstances, but as I've grown, it has gotten very simple. It is what it is. Acknowledge it, deal with it, don't dwell on it. Because that's not going to help you, it's just going to waste time. So it is what it is.
What advice would you give to an artist of your age, wanting to enter the industry? Not at 20, not at 18, not at 5, not at 6, but in your mid-30s. What advice would you give to artists in their mid-20s, mid-30s, late 20s, late 30s to enter the industry, and why?
Well, I would say that pursuing what you want does not have an expiration date. You are not a product. You don't have an expiration date. You are not a product. Exactly. You don't have a shelf life. So don't limit yourself. If there's something that you want to pursue, I'd rather pursue it than to have regrets. because at night when you're sleeping, it all just comes back to you. So give yourself that chance. Give yourself that opportunity. If you can do it, why not?
Throughout the journey, since the day you found the email or the poster on social media with regards to ITS's auditions and then signing up to the agency and being a part of his family, who was the member that stood out the most in your journey, that carried you through it all, that was always there, and what made this specific individual stand out with the qualities they possessed or possess that got you to where you are today?
Sure. So I won't lie that the first people that I saw were you and Alsapi. But then I met Soso, and Soso's story and what he had to overcome, and from being a petrol attendant to being here, and how he never gave up on his dream, and how he's still pushing to this day. Even though he's gotten here, he's very grateful for it, and he still works hard to this day. So he pushes me. If he can do it from coming from way down there, what is stopping the rest of us? Be it you're from the same circumstances or better, we can all do it.
Awesome.
We can all do it.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it, and that's a wrap.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.